Welcome to beautiful Palm Springs Stadium. It's Saturday morning. I'm Nash Walker here with Evan Schmeiser for PSCL action. The Green Dragons taking on the LumberJacks. The Jacks on the season 3-1. They've won 3 in a row. Pitching staff has been outstanding. They've given up just 10 runs in those 4 games. And for the Green Dragons, 2 ties in a row. They've scored 24 runs. They've given up 16. Both teams are in green today. Evan, what's one thing you're looking for?
Well, the most important thing is that we tell exactly the teams apart. That'll be for one. We'll have no problem with that. That's what our scores books are for. We got our analytics guys up here with us next door. They're very helpful too. That's a good reason why we call them the smart people in the room. And if you're the Green Dragons, definitely looking for a victory. That's the most annoying thing to tie 2 times in a row for a baseball game. That'll happen though if you're playing 2-hour time limits and 7 innings. You gotta keep up with the schedule.
So Schreiber heads to the mound for the Green Dragons. Evan, tell us a little bit about his season.
Well, he's been consistent so far. A couple outings, he's gone 4 innings total. Just a couple earned runs allowed, officially for a 4.5 earned run average. About 1 3/4 base runners given up each inning. So, hey, you got a big 6'3" lefty coming at 220 pounds, University of San Francisco. So I'm very curious to see. I love seeing these big, tall pitchers stretching out towards home plate. And I'm curious to see how he does against the red-hot LumberJack lineup.
Little steps in for the LumberJacks. They're about ready to go here. Saturday morning, PSCL action. And the Jacks at 3-1. Green Dragons, 1 win, no losses, 2 ties.
Joey Little off to a good start so far this season, hitting .375. The young man out of Fort Scott Community College.
Little, the leadoff man on the right-handed batter's box. Schreiber, the lefty, comes in, ball 1. Fastball up and away from Schreiber, who you mentioned 4 walks in 4 innings. Batting second today for the Jacks is Richie Amaviska, and third Harrison Pontoli. So some power players in this Jacks lineup. That's a called strike. It's 1-1.
And if Schreiber's able to get that fastball borderline on the outside park plate, maybe an inch or 2 off to that right-handed batter, that's going to be a very tough day for the LumberJacks.
The 1-1 on Little, down and away, 2-1. In the last 3 wins for Will Little, he's 2 for 6. He's walked 3 times, stolen a couple bags.
I like seeing the base stealing Nash. Seeing a good amount from the PSCL and the power.
The 2-1 swing and a miss, 2-2. And that A's team, Evan, ridiculous amount of stealing. We saw yesterday morning. I think they stole 8 bags.
Well, we know, talking to reigning PSL Manager of the Year, Don Bray. He likes to run like crazy, especially with those young athletes.
2-2 is popped up on the first base side. Letizia looks like he'll have a play in foul territory, makes the catch for out number 1. So a pop out to foul territory. Letizia, the first baseman, puts it away. And 1 down for Richie Amaviska. The A's on the season, 25 steals. The North Stars and the Snowbirds tied for second at 17. So it gives you an idea of just how much the A's have wrought in the early going.
I mean, all these teams so far, none of them have played more than 5 games. Most of them have come into today playing just 4 games. That's a crazy number of stolen bases. And these catchers are no slouches by any means.
So here's Richie Amaviska. Richie moved around the infield for the power this year. Getting some more at-bats in the PSCL.
A couple big doubles last night in the power game for Rich Amaviska.
He's hitting the ball hard recently. Had a couple hits up the middle. 1-0. Outside, 2-0.
Playing a lot of times 2 games in a day, multiple times a week. Makes for a very busy summer for the young man.
Richie, 3 for 3 in Thursday's victory over the Coyotes. He takes strike 1. It's 2-1. 1 down, top of the first, no score. LumberJacks at the plate on a 3-game winning streak. Green Dragons out in the field. Sebastian Schreiber, the lefty, falls back 2-1 on Amaviska. That's in the dirt, 3-1. And a very nice start for Richie in the PSCL. He's 5 for 9 with a double. 4 driven in, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. 3-1 Schreiber comes home. In the dirt, Richie will take a walk. His third of the season. And in 12 plate appearances, he's reached 8 times. Here's Harrison Pontoli. Speaking of on base, Pontoli been a machine in that department. He's playing third base today. We've seen him out here for the power.
I'll say again, he had a big night yesterday too against the Inland Valley Bucks. A couple big knocks, 4 RBIs. Granted, almost everybody in the lineup had a big night in that 15-2 victory.
Not a surprise, 3 for 6 in the PSCL, Pontoli. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Lefty-lefty matchup here. First pitch from Schreiber is in there for strike 1. 1 down on Maviska over at first. For the LumberJacks here. On the season, Jacks have stolen 8 bags. He caught twice, and Schreiber checks on Richie. He's back safely.
Pontoli out of the Indiana University of Pennsylvania for the power in 4 games played so far, hitting .500, 6 for 12, a couple RBIs. He's drawn 8 walks. That's a ton of walks.
The Jacks come into this game, Evan, hitting .380 as a team with a .496 on base percentage, .985 OPS on the year.
That'll lead to a lot of wins.
Getting on base in nearly 50% of their plate appearances. Maviska leads off first. He'll head for second. Here's the throw. And he's safe. Slides under the tag. Good throw from Hall. But Amaviska gets a stolen base, his second of the year.
Well, that was first of all, an excellent lead from Amaviska. He timed up Schreiber excellently. And a really good throw from the catcher, Derek Hall. Goes right on the money. And bang, bang play at second base. Amaviska just got his hand in.
A runner in scoring position for Pontoli here in the top of the first.
Granted, the Green Dragons thought they had Amaviska at second.
The 0-1, swing and a miss, way out in front. LumberJacks are second in the league with 32 runs scored. And Pontoli's down on strikes for out number 2. So here's Mason Schwalbach, the DH today. For the Jacks, another left-handed hitter. Jacks also lead the league with 35 hits, so in a lot of ways, it's been an elite offense in the PSCL. That's inside on Schwalbach, ball 1. 2 down, Amaviska in scoring position at second.
Well, it's not surprising to see that the Jacks lead the league in hits. Already these guys at the top of the order just off the charts offensively. 4 for 9 so far in the season's Mason Schwalbach.
3 doubles for Schwalbach. 4 runs driven in, 3 walks. He's been awesome for them. The 1-0 just misses, 2-0.
Listed at 5'11", 212 pounds. That's a strong-looking young man down there.
Schwalbach, the DH today. Three power players in this lineup, and Amaviska, Pontoli, Mejia. Here's the 2-0. Schreiber checks on Amaviska. 79 degrees, Evan. I don't know if I believe it.
You know, I woke up this morning in Indio. It was about 72 degrees, and I almost wanted to put a long-sleeve shirt on. That's a little scary.
2-0 on Schwalbach. Schreiber comes home. It's down 3-0. In danger of walking Schwalbach. First base is open. Left fielder Mejia on deck. But this has been a gauntlet middle of the lineup for the LumberJacks. Jacob Mejia's 4 for 7 on the season, so it doesn't get any easier. 3 straight left-handed hitters in this lineup. That's ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk. And Schwalbach will fill first. Amaviska holds up at second. And now 2 runners aboard for Mejia.
And a second walk of the inning already issued by Schreiber. So Definitely want to see him try and get back in the strike zone and find that command that we saw for the strikeout on Pontoli and that first out on Joey Little.
Mejia was 2 for 3 in Wednesday's 10-0 win over the North Stars. Driven in 1 run so far this year. RBI triple. That was on Monday. He takes ball 1. Schwalbach trying to get ahead with some off speed in the platoon advantage here. The 1-0 inside, 2-0. 2 down, Amaviska at second, Schwalbach at first. No score top of the first.
At this point, you're Jacob Mejia. You have a 2-0 count, chance for an RBI with a man out on second base. You're looking for 1 pitch in 1 spot. And from the pattern we've seen so far from Sebastian Schreiber, I'm looking for a fastball in the inner part of the plate.
Schreiber checks on Amaviska once more. Be surprised, but we have seen a lot of double steals thus far, Evan, in the PSCL. With the way they're swinging the bats, you don't want to run into any outs.
I'd be a little surprised to see them running with 2 outs.
That pitch is down, 3-0. So Schreiber gets the big strikeout on Pontoli, walks Schwalbach on 4 pitches, and now falls down 3-0 to Mejia, 7 straight balls.
Yeah, I'm usually a big fan of giving a 3-0 green light, but already 2 walks issued in the inning, 7 out of strikes in a row, I'm taking all the way. It looks like that's exactly what Mejia did right there.
Chews up the outer half, it's 3-1. And Schreiber tries to get back into this count.
And there's a good chance if you're the batter Mejia, you'll get the same kind of pitch 3-1 that you got 3-0. So I'm still looking for a fastball in the inner part of the plate.
Schwalbach doesn't want to lead too far off first. That one's in, called a strike.
That's exactly what he got. If you're Jacob Mejia, you're not going to make any friends by tossing the bat out of the way, thinking that it's ball 4, but ultimately getting called a strike.
Full count on Mejia, 2 down. Big spot in the top of the first here with runners at first and second for pitcher Sebastian Schreiber, who's working off the third base side of the rubber. The 3-2. There go the runners. That's roped to left field. That'll fall in for a hit. Coming around second is Amaviska on his way to third. Schwalbach, here's the throw into third. It's late. An RBI double for Jacob Mejia. And the Jacks take a 1-0 lead.
Well, an excellent piece of hitting from Jacob Mejia. He finally got a fastball a little bit towards the middle of the plate. He stayed with it, serving that out to left field. And with the runners in motion, Rich Amaviska able to score easily from second base.
Here's Hillman Truss with now 2 men in scoring position after the RBI double.
And if you're Mason Schwalbach over at third base, you need to get a really good walking lead, especially with a left-hand pitcher on the mound. His back will be facing you. He's had a little bit of command issues for Schreiber, so if he bounces one, you better be ready to score.
Big swing and a miss from Truss. It's 0-1. He's 2 for 7 on the season. Went 1 for 3 in that win over the Coyotes. Stole a couple bags.
Looks to be one of the few guys in this lineup whose numbers are still good, but aren't completely off the charts at the plate.
Truss swing and a miss. Fastball up and away, and it's 0-2. So 1 run home here for the Jacks. And Schreiber shooting for an escape. 0-2, 2 outs. Mejia at second, Schwalbach at third. First base is open. Here's the 0-2. Foul back. Got another fastball.
Yeah, and this is part of what makes Sebastian Schreiber so tough on the mound. His fastball is very good life, running out and away and down to the right-handed batter. And he's got that breaking ball as well that'll dart in towards the right-handed batter and down in the dirt.
See if he trusts his catcher hauled here with a back foot breaking ball, perhaps.
Yeah, you wonder.
Gotta be careful with Schwalbach at third. We've seen a lot of wild pitches, past balls here in the PSCL, and many of which have changed games. Here's the 0-2. He does throw that back foot breaking ball, and Truss got a piece.
That's part of what's so important about having a man on third base. Excellent base running earlier on the part from Schwalbach, because a pitcher may be a little more reluctant to bounce that breaking ball or bounce that changeup to try and avoid a run scoring on a wild pitch. So advantage hitter in this case.
0-2 on Truss, 2 down. Top of the first, Jacks lead 1-0. 2 men in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Hit up the middle. Slow roller and through the hole. 1 run will score. And right behind him is Schwalbach. It's a 2-run single for Hillman Truss. Right off the end of the bat. And it finds the hole between Michelle and Montoya, and the Jacks lead 3-0.
Well, that's an excellent piece of hitting from Hillman Truss. Earlier in the at-bat, he got a similar fastball out on the way. He hit it straight back foul. He got another one, got a little bit off the end of the bat, but excellent piece of hitting, not trying to do too much. Hit it just hard enough to get it past Schreiber, and ultimately through the infield for a couple RBIs.
Here's College of the Desert catcher Drake Bicknell, who's off to a great start. 4 for 8, 4 singles, 3 runs driven in. And he comes up here with 2 outs. 3 runs are home. Hillman Truss over at first takes ball 1, does Bicknell. 2 hits in the inning, and both coming with 2 outs. An RBI double from Jacob Mejia. Hillman Truss drives in 2 with a single, and the Jacks take an early 3-0 lead. That pitch is in there, strike 1.
We mentioned earlier, LumberJacks have drawn a ton of walks this season. Excellent job on their part, taking advantage of the 2 walks issued earlier in the inning by Schreiber.
So 1-1 now on Bicknell. He's the 7-hole hitter. Of course, in the PSCL, 10 batters in the lineup. Ortega got to be happy knowing he'll go to the mound with at least a 3-0 lead. Here's the 1-1. Up and away, 2-1. Tried to spot that breaking ball in. Didn't break.
At this point, if I'm Drake Bicknell, I'm eliminating the breaking ball. We've seen a couple that Sebastian Schreiber hasn't quite been able to locate. His fastball command has been a whole lot better. So I'm zoning in on just 1 fastball on the outer part of the plate.
Quick check on Truss. He's back. 2-out rally here for the Jacks. Here's the 2-1 on Bicknell. Swing, foul tipped, 2-2. Was a fastball, Evan.
He did go right back to the fastball. That one caught a little bit more of the middle of the plate. Drake Bicknell did have a pitch to hit right there.
Just swung under it. Foul tipped into the glove of Hald, and now it's 2-2. 2 outs here, top of the first. Jacks up 3-0. 2-2 from Schreiber. Way inside on the breaking ball, and looks like it hit him. So a 2-strike hit by pitch on Bicknell, and that'll bring up the 8th batter of the inning in Miles.
And Schreiber, I give him credit. He tried to go back to the breaking ball. He missed away with one early in the bat. Tried to go inside, maybe trying to get it down towards his back foot for a swing and a miss. But just nibbling a little bit with that curveball. Command with that pitch has been a little bit tougher.
Blake Miles, 2 for 5 on the season with a double, 4 runs driven in, 3 walks. And first pitch on him is a strike. Bicknell at first, Truss at second, with 3 already home.
Well, that was an excellent located fastball right there, right along the outer part of the plate. And we know Blake Miles is looking dead red first pitch, but couldn't have done much, if anything, with that fastball other than maybe hit it off the end of the bat.
The 0-1 from Schreiber, breaking ball falls in there. It's strike 2. Maybe his best curveball of the inning, Evan.
By far his best one of the inning, and I give him a lot of credit. Still going back to that breaking ball, he needs his secondary pitches in order to try and keep this Red Hot LumberJacks lineup off balance.
0-2 on Miles with 2 out. It's way high, 1-2.
I've just overthrown that fastball a little bit. You can hear the grunt from the mound from Schreiber from up here.
Desperately looking to get out of this inning. Since the strikeout of Pantoli, a walk, a double, a single, and a hit by pitch. Here's the 1-2 on Miles. Way up and away that ball. gets past Hall, then both runners will move up into scoring position. So Truss now over at third. Bicknell slides up to second. And now a base hit presumably scores 2 more for the Jacks.
Yeah, big opportunity for the Lumberjacks to try and possibly put this game out of reach. A single should make it a 5-0 ball game. And if you're Sebastian Schreiber, we see him throw some excellent fastballs so far this inning. He needs to maybe take a breath, trust his stuff, not try and do too much, overthrow his fastball.
I think you're right, Evan. This could be the game here. And it's crazy to say in the top of the first, but it's already 3-0. Two more in scoring position. 2-2, 2 outs on Blake Miles. Swing and a miss. And a big strikeout there from Schreiber. But the Jacks score 3 on 2 hits. And when we come back, Ortega to the mound with a 3-0 lead. Justin Ortega to the mound in his 3rd start for the Lumberjacks. He's got a 3-0 lead. And Montoya will come up for the Green Dragons. Ortega started Monday, started Wednesday on the season. 5 innings, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, just 1 walk, and no earned runs. So he's been very, very good for the Jacks.
That's putting it lightly, Nash. Also from San Antonio, my neck of the woods. Going to school at St. Mary's University.
First pitch on Montoya is in there for a strike, and that's what Ortega's done, throwing a lot of strikes. Gabriel Montoya, 1 for 4 on the season. A couple of strikeouts. As a team, the Green Dragons hitting .315. .447 on base. Here's the 0-1 on Montoya. Breaking ball outside, 1-1.
The way the LumberJacks are swinging the bats, the Green Dragons are going to need some of that offense. Try and get their second win of the season.
Montoya, Michelle, Letizia. Coming up here in the home half of the first for the Green Dragons. 1-1, Ortega to Montoya, the shortstop. Swing and a miss. Swung under, looked like a fastball. Up. This Green Dragons offense has been good. OPS over 900. And I think we've seen hitters perhaps ahead of the pitchers here, Evan, in the early going of the PSCL.
Well, it's definitely a possibility. You have to assume a lot of these players have had at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks of downtime. And usually for Major League Baseball teams coming into spring training, the hitters are far ahead of the pitchers.
2-2 now on Montoya. That pitch was bounced in front of the left-handed batter's box.
No big deal. It's a little bit outside. That's why they give you 4 balls to work with. It's a 2-2 count.
2-2, bottom of the first. Dragons at the plate. Gabriel Montoya. Going to spark plug this lineup in a 3-0 hole. That's in the same spot. It's 3-2. Montoya works it full on the season.
Well, now for Montoya, he said it a little bit earlier with some of the at-bats with the LumberJacks in the first inning. If I'm Gabriel Montoya, I'm eliminating that breaking ball. We saw a couple attempts at breaking ball, both missing in the same spot down in the way. And so far, his four-seam fastball has been the best-looking pitch. So I'm looking for another four-seamer up in the strike zone.
Dragons team hasn't drawn a ton of walks, just 12 on the season. Here's the 3-2 on Montoya. In there, chopped back to him. And Ortega plays it from the mound, throws it away. Montoya will stay at first. And I think we're going to score that E1, Evan.
Just got official confirmation from our...
Wow, that was fast.
From our scores. You know, they work real... They don't mess around out there, I tell you what.
It is E1?
It is officially an error on the pitcher. It's a tough error, but I have to agree with it. That's a tough play. That ball chopped way up in the air by Gabriel Montoya. He got up the line in a hurry. And just one of those plays, it was essentially do or die for Montoya, and he just ended up throwing it away.
It's the third error of the season for the LumberJacks. Been pretty good defensively. Montoya now at first. That one's way outside and gets away from Bicknell. So Montoya's going to move up to second. Thought about third, but he'll hold up. And with nobody out, Montoya playing around from second and third.
Now Montoya almost thought about going to third base. The throw from the catcher, Drake Bicknell, almost got away from Ortega, the pitcher.
Bicknell out to talk with Ortega after 3 of the last 4 pitches have landed well in front of the plate.
And that's a good idea on Bicknell's part, especially after coming right off the throwing error. Just give your pitcher a chance to try and settle down, catch a couple breaths. Maybe you just told a joke out there. Sometimes that can work just as well to get your pitcher relaxed and back in a good mindset.
Michelle, the second baseman today, now with Montoya in scoring position. That's down and away. It's 2-0.
A lot of times when a pitcher ends up missing glove side and even down the strike zone, that often comes down to finding that proper balance point as he lifts his leg up. So maybe trying to almost slow down that delivery a little bit, maybe like an extra 1/1000 as you come set in that leg kick.
3-0 on Brendan Michelle, who on the season in 3 at-bats, 5 plate appearances, has walked twice and struck out 3 times. So 0 for 3, 3 Ks.
If I'm Brendan Michelle, I'm taking all the way. All 3 pitches that missed in the exact same spot.
3-0 from Ortega, way outside again. It's ball 4. So first and second, nobody out for the Green Dragons. And all of a sudden a rally here in the bottom of the first. There's going to be a meeting on the mound. That'll bring up Letizia.
Yeah, and this is a good call right now from the manager. And for all we know, maybe he saw something mechanical as well. So part of it may just be to settle his team down and maybe just give one little piece of advice to try and adjust the delivery so Ortega can get back in the strike zone.
Letizia, just 4 plate appearances, 1 hit. Hit by pitch and a walk. And this is unordinary, at least in the early going for Ortega. He's thrown a lot of strikes in his 2 starts. Just 1 walk. And now an error, a wild pitch, and a walk of Michelle. It's first and second, nobody out for the big first baseman.
Joseph Letizia out of Concordia University, Wisconsin, staying at 5'10", 235 pounds for the young slugger.
Ortega from the stretch comes set, comes home to Letizia. It's way outside again. Same spot. And he's missing. Arm side.
Hudson Volk and Harrison Pontoli for the LumberJacks, playing a couple steps in front of the first and third base bags, expecting a bunt. I haven't seen any sacrifice bunts yet in a PSCL game.
The 1-0 on Letizia. Swing and a miss. Big swing and a fastball upstairs. And it's 1-1. Aggressive hack for Letizia. I like it. You know he's going to try to come back in the zone with a fastball.
That's why you're out here. You're looking to hit the ball.
Yep.
If I'm the corner infielder, though, I'm backing up a few steps behind the base. Advantage hitter when you're in like that. So many more opportunities to try and shoot the ball through the hole.
The 1-1 is high, and it's 2-1. The Jacks lead 3-0. It's the bottom of the first. Dragons trying to cut into that. And they're off to a good start. First and second, nobody out. And a 2-1 count to Letizia. Ortega takes a peek back on Montoya. Comes home on 2-1. Called strike, 2-2. Outside, but caught the plate. And a good pitch there from Ortega, Evan.
Absolutely, and you absolutely have to locate that fastball. He's able to do it right there on the outside part of the plate to work it right back to a 2-2 count.
See what he goes to here. He's got trust in that breaking ball. Fastball away, and the count runs full, 3-2.
And it's definitely just a little something mechanical that's going on. He's just nibbling on that outside part of the plate. Just about all of his misses have been to that exact same spot down and away to the right-handed batter.
3-2 on Joseph Letizia, who's walked once this year.
Looks like we have Miles Blake of the LumberJacks throwing in the bullpen.
3-2 from Ortega. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout. Got him with a fastball. And now 1 down. But a massive strikeout for Ortega there.
That's absolutely a huge out, especially after putting on a couple batters early with the throwing error and then the walk. Initially threw 7 pitches straight out of the strike zone at one point, but now at this point you're 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning with a double play and getting out of it unscathed, holding on to a 3-0 lead. 1
out, Montoya still at second, Michelle at first for Sebastian Mejorado, who's 2 for 9 with 4 strikeouts on the season. He's playing third base, batting fourth today. First pitch on him, outside, 1-0.
And good job that last at bat from the pitcher, Justin Ortega. Being able to turn the page, not think about any of those previous 2 batters, just focus on the man at the plate.
Mejorado trying to drive in his first run of the season. And there goes Montoya for third. It's a double steal. And an effective one at that. Aggressive base running moves both runners into scoring position now. And that takes away the double play ball.
It looked like the catcher, Drake Bicknell, he was trying to go to second base, go after the trailing runner. A lot of times that's a good idea. He's usually not able to get quite as good of a jump as the lead runner, but nobody was covering second base.
Caught the Jacks defense sleeping, and now 2 runners in scoring position.
And that changes the complexion of this inning. The double play no longer a possibility. Now, at the very least, a ground ball could get a run home.
2-0 is in there, 2-1. 2-1, 1 out. Montoya at third, Michelle at second after the double steal from the Green Dragons. Base hit could make this a one-run ball game. Ortega falling behind again. 2-1. Foul back. 2-2. Well, credit the Green Dragons. They're not chasing much, Evan, and making Ortega throw strikes, making him work. He did pitch Monday and Wednesday, so you wonder, perhaps fatigue 3 times, 3 starts in 1 week. Didn't go very long in those 2 starts.
Yeah, that's something usually the managers are pretty good about, taking care of these pitchers. You're rarely going to see any kind of pitcher overworked, especially in a summer league game.
2-2 is foul back, good pitch, and a good spoil from Mejorado. Keeps the count even.
Yeah, if you're Sebastian Mejorado, the infield's playing back, conceding a run on the ground ball. You absolutely have to put this in play, at least get one of those 3 runs back.
2-2, 1 out, bottom of the first. Green Dragons yet to lose this season.
They've also tied twice, though.
2-2 is outside, 3-2. And it's the 4th 3-ball count for Justin Ortega in the 4 hitters he's faced.
That was an excellent take right there from Sebastian Mejorado. That was by far the best breaking ball we've seen of the inning by Justin Ortega, trying to get a chase on that pitch out of the strike zone. But Mejorado's able to spit on it.
The 3-2, fouled away. Good battle. Ortega, Mejorado. Ortega finally got inside.
That was the first fastball we saw on the inner part of the plate. It was an effective one. Got it right in the hands of Mejorado. But he's putting up a really good battle at the plate.
Jammed him. Foul. And the count remains 3-2. Still 1 out. We'll see how long the leash is here for Ortega with first base open and Blake Miles up in the bullpen. The payoff pitch. Way up high, ball 4. Second walk of the inning. Will load the bases for Aguirre. And it looks like Ortega will get at least one more batter. Cole Aguirre. Also Concordia of Wisconsin. On the season, 3 for 7 with 2 doubles and 4 runs driven in. So, not the guy you want to face right now with the bases loaded.
Well, absolutely not. But if you're Ortega and the LumberJacks, you're okay with conceding 1 run right here. At the very least, you want to try and at least get 1 out in this at bat. Limit the damage.
Cole Aguirre, right-handed hitter with the bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the first. Dragons trail 3-0. First pitch, right down the middle, a fastball, strike 1.
That's an excellent side from Ortega, being able to get ahead, strike 1. Possible that Aguirre might have been taking all the way, given some of the control issues early in the inning.
4 3-ball counts, 2 walks, an error, and a strikeout. And the bases are loaded for Cole Aguirre. The 0-1, way up and in, 1-1. Well, laborious inning to say the least, Evan, and Ortega would love a ground ball here.
Still just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning without giving up a run.
1-1 on Aguirre. That hit him? Hit the bat. Foul ball, that's a break.
Oh, to say the least. That ball was running up and in, coming right after Cole Aguirre. That's one of those that, it can be tough. That's one of those where you almost want to try and turn your arm in, almost try and turn your back a little bit to the ball. Maybe let that ball hit off your arm.
So 1-2, 1 out. Big break for Ortega on a pitch up and in that got Aguirre's bat instead of his hand. Now he's ahead. The 1-2. Fouled away to the right side. Got a fastball in on him again. I think now the outer half of the plate could be open here, Evan. He went up and in twice.
Yeah, if he can locate, he has set him up really well for a breaking ball down and away.
I think you can get him out in front here, but it's got to be in a good spot, and you can't spike it. See how much trust Ortega has in his catcher here. The 1-2. Fastball up and away. 2-2. McNeil set up outside, but we've seen, it feels like exclusively fastballs from Ortega.
Well, he looked like he tried to go something a little bit slower, but he ended up dropping his arm as he's delivering that pitch. Usually you want to try and do your very best to repeat the same delivery no matter what pitch you're throwing, no matter what speed it's going to come in at.
2-2, 1 out, bases loaded for Colaguare. In the pitch way outside. Full count again, the 5th 3-ball count of the first inning for Justin Ortega. And an important pitch coming here.
Well, advantage hitter right now. I'd be surprised if Colaguare gets anything that is not a fastball.
Got 3-2 on Montoya, 3-2 on Letizia, 3-2 on Mejorado, and now full again on Aguirre. Still only 1 out. Here's the pitch. Thought about it, did not go. It's ball 4. A run will score, and the Green Dragons are on the board. Ball 4, Colaguare. Fell behind 1-2, draws the walk. And the bases remain loaded with 1 home here for Pruitt. Ortega going to stay in. It's been a very laborious first inning, both ways.
Absolutely, and no action in either bullpen right now. You had somebody warming up a bit earlier, so at least for right now, this is Ortega's inning.
You're playing so many games. That's another ball up and out. Playing so many games in the PSCL. Need quality innings.
Yeah, you do. Part of it might just be even if Ortega's going to give up his runs this game, you almost need him to try and get
at least 2.
At least, yeah, at the very least. So if you have to take him out right now, that puts your pitching staff in it makes it a whole lot tougher for them.
Ryan Pruitt's 1 for 5 on the season. Takes a strike. It's 1-1. Pruitt drove in a run and a tie with the Colonials. And was 0 for 3 in Thursday's tie. That was with the North Stars. The 1-1. Up and in, 2-1. The Green Dragons are not chasing.
No, by no means. And you almost wonder, usually don't want to do this, but I almost wonder right now if it's a good idea for the catcher, Drake McNeil, just set up right down the middle and just see where the ball ends up, just try and get it over the plate.
2-1, clips the outer half. It's 2-2. Pruitt didn't like it.
It looks almost like that's what McNeil just did right there. It looked like he set up right down the middle. And it's one of those things, if you're missing by a little bit, if you set up right down the middle, you can hit a corner sometimes.
3 walks in the inning. Ortega had walked just 1 in 5 previous innings this week. Here's the 2-2. Called strike 3. Fastball away. Gets Pruitt looking, and there's 2 down. A big out for Ortega. Base is still loaded for Bonin here.
Well, absolutely. Even after 3 walks and the throwing error so far this inning, if you're the LumberJacks and you get out of this allowing only 1 run, you'll take that all day long.
Devin Bonin, 2 for 5. St. Vincent College, a freshman there. Single, double, run driven in. Batting 7th today. 2 outs, bases loaded. First pitch high. Ball 1.
Well-traveled young man is Devin Bonin, Pennsylvania guy.
3 walks in the inning. Couple of strikeouts. 1 run home on the bases loaded walk to Colaguare. But even after all that, Jacks still lead 3-1. The 1-0 is outside, 2-0.
Yeah, as that pitch count continues to climb, the longer Ortega is out there, the tougher it gets, both from a mental and especially a physical standpoint. One of the cooler mornings we've had so far, but even being out in the summer sun, Southern California, it can start to get more difficult.
Ortega 2-0 on Bonin. Pitch is in there, strike one. It's 2-1. Got back in with the fastball.
And if you're Devin Bonine, you should be looking for that exact same fastball on the outer part of the plate.
Ortega's been chewing up the outer half all inning. Gotten a lot of looks at him. At least 2 balls in every count. Here's the 2-1. Down and away, 3-1. So the 6th 3-ball count here.
And with that said, Nash, 6 3-ball counts. Usually I don't say this on a 3-1 count. I say take all the way right here. Because even if you get to a 3-2 count, the runners will be off. I would assume Devin Bonine would still get a fastball.
3-1, 2 outs, bases loaded. Bottom of the first. Dragons trying to chip into this lead. That's in there. Strike 2, so he is taking Evan, and count runs full now.
That's not a big deal if you're Devin Bonine. That was another borderline fastball on the other part of the plate. Would have been a tough pitch to do anything with. But if he gets the same one now, he's going to have to protect.
The 5th full count of the inning. Montoya reached on an error. Letizia struck out. Aguirre walked, as did Mejorado. We'll see what happens here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. The 3-2. Runners go. And it's just outside. Wow. Just missed. Another run comes home. And it's 3-2.
Yeah, it was a close pitch on the outer part of the plate. At times we have seen the zone expand, maybe just an inch or two along the outer half of home plate. That one would be a little further outside than some of the others.
Ortega walks in 2, walks 4, gets 2 outs in the first. We'll have a pitching change when we come back. Billy Howard steps into the box against a new pitcher. It'll be Luke Guest coming in for the LumberJacks. Trying to keep this a 3-2 game with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning. Billy Howard, the extra hitter today, big right-handed hitter from McHenry County College. And on the season, he's 4 for 5, Marshall. Or excuse me, Evan, with a double.
Yeah, who's Marshall? I'm kidding.
I was thinking it was yesterday again.
I'm kidding, I know.
First pitch on Howard's a strike.
Yeah, and the Green Dragons starting pitcher, Sebastian Schreiber, he's out just playing catch in the bullpen, trying to stay loose as he gets ready for his second inning.
Guest comes in, gets ahead of Billy Howard, 0-1. And that's also in there, 0-2.
And the good news about this situation on both sides is that we have those 2-hour time limits, Nash. So the bullpens and the pitching staff just don't get taxed too much. They don't get overworked. And they can still remain on schedule as they're playing a lot of games in a short period of time.
The 0-2 is hit to first, caught on a line from Volk. And that'll do it. A 2-run score, 3 stranded. Lumberjacks lead cut down to 3-2. And they'll come up and hit when we return. The lefty Schreiber back to the mound. His Green Dragons got 2 runs back in the bottom half of the first. He sat for a while.
Oh, to say the least. Yeah, you wonder how he's able to respond this inning. You definitely want a shutdown inning if you're the Green Dragons. But sometimes sitting for such a long period of time, it can be a little tough to stay sharp when you go back out for your next inning of work.
It'll be Volk, George, and Little for the Jacks. In the top half of the second, Hudson Volk from Jefferson College. He's 4 for 7, 4 singles. Just up and down this Jacks lineup. Everybody off to a good start. First pitch from Schreiber is in there for a strike.
It's a big man, too, in the right-handed batter's box. Listed at 6'5", 235 pounds. Listed as a first baseman and a pitcher.
4 driven in already in 3 games for Volk. The 0-1, down and in, 1-1. 2 walks and a hit batsman in the first inning for Schreiber. Gave up a couple hits, 3 runs. Struck out 2.
And with the length of that first inning, Nash, just about 50 minutes combined. This game's going to turn into a sprint, with the 2-hour time limit being a factor. You don't have quite as many outs to play with compared to a normal game.
Volk swings and misses at a fastball outside. It's 1-2. And Schreiber would love to get a quick first out and get his offense back into the dugout. The 1-2 on Volk. Ball high. Volk caught that third out on a line at first base. Hit right to him to end the first inning. Now leads out the second. 2-2 count. Schreiber. Looks like he went. That pitch gets away. Schreiber's going to play it. Throw to first is in time. So drop third strike turns into a put out at first, and Volk's down swinging.
You know, Nash, I don't think I've ever seen a drop third strike and putting in my book as 1-3 on the play with the pitcher making the play. Just let that ball hit right off the shin guard of catcher Derek Holt. But honestly, an excellent play from Sebastian Schreiber. He went after the ball exactly how you want to as a lefty. You smother it, turn your back, fired a strike right over the first base.
So 1 down for Lane George, who's making his PSCL debut today. Takes a pitch up and in, ball 1. George, an extra hitter, batting 10th this morning. So 3 strikeouts for Schreiber. All swinging. 1-0 on George with 1 down. Is in there, 1-1.
So far, just 1 ball. Only 1 out recorded on a ball put in play from the Lumberjacks lineup.
The 1-1 swing and a miss. 1-2 is a foul tip. into Hall's glove. Schreiber getting ahead here. On the 10-hole hitter. Little's on deck. Here's the 1-2. Ooh, just missed. 2-2.
Close.
Is it low?
Yeah, it must have been low. It looked to be over the plate from my angle. Green Dragons wanted that pitch.
2-2 now on George. 1 down. 1-run ball game. That is hit very softly. Schreiber's going to play it off the mound. Underhand flip onto Letizia for out number 2.
Well, that's twice so far in 2
1-3.
batters this inning, seeing the athleticism of Sebastian Schreiber. We saw him first have to go to his right to field that strikeout that went off the shin guard of catcher Derek Hall. And then we see him have this busted over towards the first base line. Once again, no panic, fielding his position, smothered the ball with his bare hand, flipped in one motion, got him by a couple of steps.
Lineup flips over now to Little, who's 3 for 9 on the season, 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out to first to lead off the ball game. And a breaking ball in there for a strike from Schreiber. So finding the zone here in the second. Little let off this game. That ground out to first, and then the Jacks got going offensively.
You know, Nash, I can't say enough how impressed I am with that athletic play. Like, you don't often see a 6'3" pitcher, 220-pound guy field his position the way he did. Those are some very, very athletic plays.
0-2 on Little. Swing and a miss. Way out in front of another breaking ball, and we'll see if Schreiber goes back to it here. With 2 down, trying to make it a 1-2-3 inning. Long look. In agreement with his catcher Hall. Here's the 0-2. Hit into right field. Going back on it is Tommy Howard. He gets under it and makes the catch. Here's out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 second for Sebastian Schreiber. And he does get the Dragons back into the dugout. They'll try to tie this thing up or take the lead when we return. Guest is back out for the bottom of the second. The Dragons scored 2 in the first. It was a long inning. Justin Ortega pulled for Guest with 2 outs. Guest came in and got Billy Howard. And bring up the catcher Hall. First pitch swinging, fouled up the third baseline.
We just saw last inning from Sebastian Schreiber of the Green Dragons. Excellent job recording a shutdown inning. Setting down the side, 1, 2, 3, fielding his position really nicely a couple times. And that's a big momentum shift for the Green Dragons trying to tie this game or take the lead.
Derek Hall, also St. Vincent College. That pitch is Way outside, 1-1. Hauled on the season, 1 for 6. He's catching today, batting 9th. One from Guest. Is fouled off out of play to the right side. The relievers have come in, or at least Guest, and thrown some strikes. Schreiber had a strong top half of the second, 1, 2, 3, and see if the pitchers can settle in here.
Even seeing those foul balls, it definitely helps keep the infield awake, as they're more ready to field their position.
The 1-2 from Guest, way inside. Hall swung at it and grounded it, fouled on the third baseline. I thought that ball was going to hit him.
That was close. It looked like it was about to hit him.
So 1-2 now on the Green Dragons catcher.
And both bullpens are quiet.
The 1-2, breaking ball. Oh, just
wow.
missed. High, maybe outside.
Yeah, it must have been high. Looked like it was over the plate.
A little bit of both. Now 2-2 on Derek Hall.
Yes, definitely wanted that pitch.
The 2-2, high, 3-2.
Looked like Luke Guest reared back with a little something extra. Definitely looks to be a little frustrated with those past 2 pitches, but he does need to lock it back in and try and get this first out.
3-2 full on Derek Hall. The payoff. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball from Luke Guest for the first out. Hall's down on strikes.
That was a nasty breaking ball, and he was able to throw it over the plate, too. A tremendous change of speeds, keeping the hitter off balance. No chance right there from Derek Hall.
So that brings up Tommy Howard. Tommy, not yet in the hit column, 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. And he takes ball 1 outside.
You know, when we were 0 for 3 Nash, our analytics guys would say, small sample size, no big deal.
He's batting 10th today, playing right field. A couple of Howards in the lineup, Billy and Tommy fouls that one off to the left side toward the snow cone stand. Power back in action tonight. Inland Valley Pirates in town. Power improved to 7-2 last night.
It was an impressive performance. Brett Fennell went the first 6 innings, shutout, 1-hit baseball. It was remarkable to watch.
2-1 on Tommy Howard with 1 down here in the bottom of the second. The LumberJacks lead the Green Dragons 3-2. 2-1 from Guest, way outside, 3-1. Lineup will flip over to Montoya next. Montoya reached on error. Got to second on a wild pitch, stole third, and then scored on a walk, and that's outside. So a 1-out free pass for Tommy Howard. And Montoya will get a chance now in the second.
5th walk issued so far from LumberJacks pitching.
Mentioned Montoya reached on that Ortega error dribbler back to the mound in the first. And he takes strike 1. It looked outside.
And a little bit of chatter coming from the LumberJacks dugout. They ain't seem to be too happy with that pitch either.
0-1, 1 out. Howard leads off first. That's hit to second, chance for 2. Taking it himself, Amavisca goes to 1, a double play. Richie Amavisca flashing the leather. It's a twin killing to finish off the second inning. And the LumberJacks will come up and hit when we return.
So wait, now
Sebastian Schreiber back out for his third inning of work and leading off Richie Amaviska, who turned a double play to finish off the bottom of the second.
Tell you what, Nash, that Rich Amaviska, he's smooth over there at shortstop. He made that double play look easy.
And that's what we hear. You know, you talk to...
We see it, too.
Power coaches, and they say he's one of the best fielders at Palm Springs Stadium right now. You know, playing for the Power, playing in the PSCL. Very good with the glove. Can play all around. And he's starting to put it together at the plate. He walked, stole second, and score in the first. Now up 1-0, takes ball 2 outside. He's joking with Richie. He's always got, you know, a group of, feels like 100 family and friends at the Power games cheering for him. There's 3-0. He's like a celebrity after the game. He takes pictures with everybody, all the kids.
Yeah, it's quite a scene down below, especially after a Power win right by the entrance to the field.
3-0 outside, so Richie takes his second walk of the day. And it's a leadoff free pass that'll bring up Harrison Pontoli, who struck out swinging in the first.
Yeah, if you combine the walks and the hit batter, that's 4 men so far that Sebastian Schreiber has put on base.
Jacks lead at 3-2, and the middle of this order has been very, very difficult to deal with this season, and no reprieve today for Sebastian Schreiber.
Amaviska stole second base last time he was on, so Schreiber absolutely needs to keep him close. Good-looking lead over there, too, for Amaviska. Big lead.
Against the lefty and Schreiber, Richie bluffs, doesn't go. That ball is outside as Hall thought about throwing. Back pick on Richie does not. Free passes can haunt you in the middle of this order with Schwalbach and Mejia due up after Pontoli. Check on Amaviska. He's back.
Looks like Jay Evans warming up in the bullpen for the LumberJacks. Wonder if he'll come on for the next inning.
The 1-0 on Pontoli gets away. Richie will gain second base. Runner in scoring position now with nobody out. So Guest did a nice job if that's it. Coming in, getting a big out with the bases loaded in the first, and then set down the Dragons in order in the second. Thanks to a double play ball. 2-0 on Pontoli. Schreiber comes home and strike one. Schreiber got Harrison swinging in the first. It was at the time a big second out. Ended up being a 3-run first for the Jacks. They rallied with 2 outs. He had an RBI double. Hillman Truss drove him in with a single.
Right now, this is one of those situations. Harrison Pontoli needs to move Amaviska over the third any way he can, whether it's on a hit, a ground ball to the right side, or a fly ball.
2-1 on Pontoli. Breaking ball drops in for a strike. Started at the front shoulder, landed in the strike zone. It's 2-2.
It looks like Pontoli's a little bit frustrated himself. That's a breaking ball he might have wanted to have back. Left it a little bit up in the strike zone. Did Schreiber. Something he could have done a little bit of damage with.
I would go back to one of those out of the zone and see if you can get a swing and a miss here. And he does. Pontoli rolls it over, foul. Way out in front.
Well, it's the right idea, trying to get his man over the third.
What are you looking for now, Evan? 2-2, back-to-back breaking balls. I'm probably waiting for that pitch again.
It's tough. Schreiber's fastball has been good. Part of it's about, do you want to keep the ball away from Pontoli? If that's the case, you want to go with the breaking ball. If you want to try and come inside, you want to go with that fastball, especially with it riding inside from the left-handed pitcher to the left-handed batter.
2-2. Hall is set up inside. Here's the pitch. Down and away, swing and a miss. Pontoli strikes out swinging. And Schreiber gets him for the second time today. A big first out. Amaviska holds up at second. Here's Schwalbach.
That's really, really helpful if you're Schreiber and the Green Dragons. Changes the whole complexion of this inning now with there being one out. Still a base open too, so you have options now.
Looks like Schreiber completely missed his spot. Hall was setting up for a fastball in. And he missed away. Pontoli offered at it and couldn't make contact. Here's Schwalbach, walked and scored on that Mejia double in the first. That pitch is in the dirt. Good stop by Hall.
Yeah, Amaviska, he was getting ready to start heading over towards third, but Derek Hall was able to corral that one nicely.
Goes Pontoli, Schwalbach, Mejia. 3 left-handed hitters in a row against the lefty in Schreiber. And we've talked about it before, Evan, but a lot of these guys don't see many lefties. So you wonder about that with Pontoli, who struck out twice. We've seen how locked in he can be against right-handed pitching for the power.
It's interesting sometimes, even talking to right-handed batters in the high school and college level, and they're just not comfortable facing left-handed pitchers because they're not used to it.
1-0 on Schwalbach. Amaviska still at second. Schwalbach swings and fouls it off of Hall's chest. It's 1-1.
Tell you what, Nash, I used to love facing left-handed pitchers. You see the ball so well as a right-handed batter, especially when they come right over the top. And everything's coming back towards you as a right-handed hitter.
Yep. And as right-handed hitters see more of them, you do see that split. I was a left-handed hitter. I did not like facing lefties. I would not like this matchup.
What was it about them?
Hide the ball. Something about the same side. It looks like the breaking balls are going to hit you, and they land in, almost get you on your ankles, falling back.
Even when you're playing catch with a left-handed pitcher, it seems like every ball they throw is moving. And it's not the same way with a right-handed thrower.
1-1 on Mason Schwalbach, the DH today, who's off to a terrific start in the PSCL. Checks on Amaviska.
I know you're a big hockey guy, Nash. Was it more difficult or just unusual when you face left-handed hockey players?
Well, I was also a left-handed hockey player, and people would always say, you know how people say in baseball they wish they were left-handed hitters because they think it's a prettier swing.
Oh, it is. You ever see Ken Griffey Jr.? I tell you what.
It's almost the same with hockey. That pitch is in the dirt, gets away. Amaviska will head up to third. So now a ground ball to the right side or a fly ball deep enough will get home another run for the Jacks on the wild pitch. It's 2-1.
And it looks like the Green Dragons are going to bring the infield all the way in. I think you have to. Runs have been tough to come by so far. There's only about 45 minutes or so left within the time limit of this game. Looks like the infielders are actually going to back up a couple steps and play a little more halfway.
Yeah, corners are in on Schwalbach, who definitely has some pop.
And if you're the batter, when they bring the infield in on you, that almost makes it easier because you just have to think about trying to hit a ball hard. So many more opportunities to shoot a ball through the hole.
2-1, up and in, 3-1. Schwalbach waiting for his pitch here. Already drew a walk in the first. 3-1, 1 out, top of the third. Jacks lead at 3-2. Rich Amaviska in scoring position at third base. The 3-1. Swing and a miss, breaking ball from Schreiber.
That was a really sharp-looking breaking ball. Very late movement.
And that's what I'm talking about as a left-handed hitter.
That's no fun.
Looks so good. And on 3-2, Evan, is he going back?
Yeah, it's a bold move going with a breaking ball 3-1. He could throw absolutely anything. you're Schwalbeck, you gotta find a way to put the ball in play.
Hald sets up inside, and Schwalbeck loops one to right field. That'll score a run. It's an RBI single for Mason Schwalbeck. Amaviska comes home and scores, and the Jacks lead at 4-2.
Excellent piece of hitting from Schwalbeck. Schreiber might have wanted to get that breaking ball a little further down in the zone. Not a bad pitch by any means, but just a much better piece of hitting. Keeping his hands back just enough to flick that ball in the right. And those two wild pitches, allowing Amaviska to go from first to third, comes back to haunt the Green Dragons.
Ball not hit hard, but looped in a perfect spot to right field. Schwalbeck stays on it long enough, and it's the run-scoring knock. It's 4-2 Jacks, and here's Jacob Mejia, who doubled home a run in the first. That is past the catcher Hald, and Schwalbeck will move up to second. Another wild pitch.
That's the third one we've seen this inning.
We've seen it quite a bit here in the PSCL. There's going to be a mound visit.
Yeah, it's a good decision right here from the manager. Just try and calm his pitcher down. Looks to be a little frustrated. Looks like they're trying to at least get Schreiber through this third inning.
So
the command's just been a little bit tough on both sides today.
4, 5, 6, 7 in this order. No outs. Schwalbeck has walked and singled. Mejia doubled. Hillman Truss singled. McNell was hit by a pitch. It's a very difficult part of the order. Trying to keep this game in striking distance.
Said earlier, LumberJacks going after their 4th win of the season, trying to keep pace with those first place A's led by manager Don Bray.
Well documented. LumberJacks lead the league in OPS, lead the league in batting average. And that's before today. Lead the league in on base, in every category, and slugging.
Well, those on base numbers will definitely go up today. As of right now, slugging, maybe not so much. Only 3 hits so far.
So this has been the best offense in the PSCL so far. And you can see why. 1-0 on Mejia. Is roped to left field, falling fast, getting under it. Aguirre, no, it's over his head. And getting into second, Mejia. Wow. So Aguirre can't make the play. And, you know, in these early games, Evan, the sun has definitely played its part. You wonder if it came into effect there on that fly ball.
It's tough to tell. It's definitely a possibility. Obviously, it has to go down as an error all the way on the left fielder, Aguirre.
E7, Schwalbeck comes in to score.
That ball was slicing every which way. Sometimes the line drive right at you is the toughest. It looked like he had it lined up at first, just popped right out of his glove.
So now a 5-2 lead for the Jacks with 1 out, and Mejia's up to second. That was a big play.
And it looks like Billy Howard's going to come on as the new center fielder, and Devin Bonine will shift into one of the designated hitter spots.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to go in and get warm, get ready to pitch.
That's a possibility, too.
That is down and away on Hillman Truss, ball 1. So E7.
And Devin Bonine has pitched a couple games so far. Very likely might be going to warm up in the bullpen.
The 1-0, 1 out, swing and a miss.
Looks like that is the case. Bonine's jogging down there right now to start playing catch. I think you're a baseball intuition, Nash. I like it.
Figured unless there's an injury, and Bonine was running in fast, so didn't look like that.
Hey, the substitutions we've seen, it could be anything.
2-1 on Truss, who singled in Mejia in the first. The Jacks have opened up a 5-2 lead here. Now on the season, 37 runs, that leads the league. The Blue Sox will play here a little bit later on. Jacks passed them and runs scored. And we'll see if the Blue Sox have anything to say about it this afternoon against the North Stars. 3-1 on Truss. Mejia leading off second, 1 out here. Schreiber still in the game. 3-1, swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs, 3-2.
Yeah, Schreiber taking a short walk behind the mound. He's really battled today. Sometimes it happens with a pitcher. I've heard some really bright minds say about a third of the time you'll have your absolute best stuff and you'll be dealing. A third of the time you're somewhere in the middle where you have to grind. Maybe you don't have your best stuff. That's what Schreiber's trying to do here, just trying to grind through this outing.
Ball 4 on Truss, puts him at first base. First and second now for the catcher, Bicknell. Who's also been fantastic here. College of the Desert product. Truss at first, Mejia at second. 2 already in here in the top of the third for the Jacks.
Chance to try to roll a double play for the Green Dragons. They need to get out of this inning, not allowing any more damage. Dragons still haven't recorded a hit yet, so runs might be tough to come by, especially with a time limit to consider.
That's fouled off by Bicknell out of play to the right side. It's 0-1. Yeah, my guess, we start to get to this point. It's 10:23. I think we'll get through 4. It's the top of the third.
Maybe get through 5 depending on the pace.
Perhaps. 0-1 on Bicknell. From the lefty Schreiber, who's tried to work around a lot of trouble today. That's in the dirt and gets away, and both runners will move up into scoring position. That is wild pitch number 4. Of this inning. And it's 1-1. One out. 5-2 lead for the Jacks. Looking for their 4th win in 5 games. And their 4th win in a row.
And it looks like the Green Dragons are going to bring the infield now all the way in. They can't afford to let this deficit grow anymore.
1-1 on Bicknell. Breaking ball down and in. Good take. It's 2-1. And already 3 3-ball counts in this inning. Schreiber has fallen behind Bicknell 2-1.
There's been a lot of 3-ball counts. It's a difficult way to try and pitch, especially the more that the opposition's able to see your arsenal, the advantage starts to shift even more towards the hitters.
2-2 taken. Strike from Bicknell. Now an opportunity for Schreiber here to get a big strikeout. 2-2, 1 out. Runners at second and third. Infield pressed in. Trying to cut down that runner. The 2-2 on Drake Bicknell. Called strike 3. Fastball tickles the outer half of the plate. And that's out number 2.
Well, that was an excellent pitch there from Schreiber. Might have reared back with a little something extra. It looked like Drake Bicknell looked like that fastball caught him a little bit by surprise. Perhaps looking for a breaking ball instead. That's big though. Now the infield can back all the way up, play at normal depth to try and knock the ball down and get it out at first.
2 outs now for Blake Miles. Miles struck out swinging in the first. Big swing and a miss there on a breaking ball inside. It's 0-1.
Now, when he's been able to locate, especially down and into the right-handed batter, Schreiber's been really good with that breaking ball. And to go along with that good fastball tailing towards the outer part of the plate.
5 strikeouts for Schreiber. Had a 1-2-3 second. Led this inning off with a walk. Single to Schwalbach, drove in a run. Breaking ball, oof. Good pitch, 0-2.
Well, if he's able to paint his breaking ball both inside and outside, both parts of the plate, that's virtually unhittable.
That started off the plate, like well off the plate.
That was crisp.
If you could do that again, I bet it'll be strike 3. 0-2 on Miles, 2 outs. Truss at second, Mejia at third, and Schreiber wants a second.
And the crazy thing right now is for the Green Dragons, the game is still very much in reach. But I have to think, a base hit here, scoring 2 runs, that can make it really tough.
Here's the 0-2 on Miles, the right fielder. Hit towards second. Picked up on a hop by Michelle. He throws over to first for out number 3. So 2 stranded in scoring position here in the top of the third. However, the Jacks do score 2 more, open up a 5-2 lead. The Green Dragons will try to cut into it when we come back. Luke Guest back to the mound here in the third inning. Got a big double play from Richie Amavisca to set down the Green Dragons in order in the second. And now 2-3-4 for the home team, and Michelle, Letizia, and Mejorado.
And if you're the Green Dragons, you need to get something right here.
Swing and a miss.
Only about 30 minutes remaining in our 2-hour time limit game, so you need at least 1 run this inning, and then hopefully for the Green Dragons, a quick top of the 4th.
Michelle walked, stole second, and scored in the first. He's down 0-1 here and gets jammed, fouls it back 0-2. Guest has done a nice job.
Yeah, for the LumberJacks, an excellent sign. Guest able to get ahead of his first batter, no balls, 2 strikes. Especially trying to get another shutdown inning.
Came into a difficult situation with the bases loaded. There were 2 outs. He got Billy Howard. And then a clean second inning. Now out for the third, ahead 0-2 on Michelle. That's up and in, 1-2.
A little chin music right there.
Michelle barely flinched. Bottom of the third. LumberJacks lead 5-2. Green Dragons, the home team today. Both teams in green. That's hit hard into left field, and that'll be a base hit. First hit of the ball game for the Dragons.
Yeah, they're on the board.
It's a single to left from Michelle on 1-2. And that's exactly what you're looking for. Here's Letizia. He struck out swinging in the first. Letizia, the first baseman today. Checks on the runner.
Well, Jay Evans throwing once again in the bullpen. We saw him throwing once down there earlier.
Swing and a miss. Big caught from Letizia on a fastball. Up in the zone. It's 0-1.
Assume he's up just in case Luke Guest runs into any kind of trouble.
Guest working quickly. The 0-1 inside. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
That's a real good fastball right under his hands on the inside part of the plate. Especially some of those bigger guys, they want to get their arms extended. It's a much tougher pitch with a good four-seamer on the inside half.
0-2, nobody out. Michelle at first after the leadoff single. Jacks lead at 5-2. Here's the 0-2 swing and a miss. 3 swinging strikes. And Letizia is set down for the second time. First out of the inning, and Mejorado will come to the plate.
So 3 fastballs. If you're Sebastian Mejorado, you absolutely need to get on base, bring the tying run to the plate.
Mejorado, the third baseman, walked in the first, reached third, was stranded there. And heading for second now, Michelle. Here's the throw. It's in time, and he's out. Great throw from Bicknell to cut down Michelle. He's caught stealing, and that's out number 2. And I'm a little surprised, Evan. They're down by 3 runs.
Yeah, I am too. I understand the offense has been tough to come by, but you're also down 3 runs. That run over there doesn't matter, and ended up being a terrific pitch for Drake Bicknell to throw, and he threw a strike, and Michelle was out by a mile.
That pitch is down and away, ball 1. You know, if we were playing 7 innings, I would understand it more, but you only get so many opportunities here with the time limit. That's fouled back.
Oh, that were just a little higher, Max. It would have been coming right our way. We had a foul ball.
I heard
yesterday. Yeah, Marshall and I were on the call. I went right into. It would have been right where the public address announcer was sitting. If you actually look back, you can see a dent.
I see that.
Yeah.
Well, we're ready to get one up in here.
Are we though?
In the broadcaster's booth.
Now it's been a minute since I've played. We don't have our gloves either.
1-2 on Mejorado. Breaking ball falls in for strike 3. Leadoff single turns into a caught stealing, couple of strikeouts, and Guest gets through in order. In the third, the Jacks will try to build on their lead when we return. Schreiber is back out there for another inning, the top of the 4th. Sees the Jacks leading 5-2 here. A little surprised Schreiber's still out there, Evan?
Well, that's something that I'm sure he had a conversation with his manager before this inning. He's at 83 pitches so far. Probably said, yeah, I'm good to go, and he'll definitely get his share of rest in the days to follow.
Volk steps in. He struck out swinging to lead off the second. That was a clean second for Schreiber in between a couple of long, laborious innings in the first and third. And Volk takes ball 1.
And depending on the pace of this inning right here, the Green Dragons might only have one more chance at the plate before that time limit hits.
1-0 in there for a strike check. Swing doesn't matter. Called the strike. It's 1-1.
Oh, do you feel that breeze, Nash?
Feels amazing.
That's a beautiful thing.
81. This might be the coolest morning we've had. in the PSCL so far.
Oh, it's not even close. Usually by this time of day, it'd be in the 90s.
That one's in the dirt. It's 2-1.
This feels like I'm back home on the East Coast on the beach.
Two-one on Volk. His Jacks with a 3-run lead here. Late, not by the inning, but by the time. Here's the 2-1. Down again, 3-1. Schreiber's walked 5. That includes a hit by pitch in the first. He hit big now.
Yeah, he needs to attack the hitters right now. Even if he gives up a hit or two, he needs to do everything he can to get his team back in the dugout as soon as he can.
That's ball 4 on Volk. Leadoff walk. Second leadoff walk in a row.
Looks like that's it for Schreiber. He just got the signal from the manager and the call to the bullpen.
So there'll be a pitching change for the Green Dragons. And that's going to do it for Sebastian Schreiber. Or is it just a conversation?
I thought I saw him manage to make the call to the bullpen. Put that signal up, pointing with his hand.
Hasn't grabbed the ball yet.
Oh!
Schreiber's going to stay in.
They dicked me out. I give him credit. I swear he gave the signal.
He'll stay in for the extra hitter, George, at least.
Must have been one of those conversations. Yes, how you feeling, big guy? And Schreiber says, Coach, I'm good to go.
George grounded out to Schreiber. Back in the second inning. Comes up now with nobody out and Volk over at first. First pitch on George. Breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-1.
That's a heck of a good sign after seeing that confidence from your manager, and that's a confident-looking breaking ball we just saw getting it over for strike 1. It's a beautiful thing to see, Nash.
0-1 on George. Fastball up and away. Good stop from Hald.
That one just a bit outside.
1-1 now. On the 10-hole hitter. Volk. Small lead at first. They'll check on him anyway. One hit on the day for the Green Dragons. The Jacks have 3. We've seen plenty of walks. Wild pitches. A couple errors. 1-1. Schreiber holds and comes home. It's 2-1.
So far, combined 10 walks and hit batters from both teams. But nobody out in the top of the 4th inning.
2-1 on George with Little on deck. That is in there. Strike 2.
Also combined 4 hits so far. Definitely a strange game.
So this could be it for Sebastian Schreiber here. In the top of the 4th inning, he's 2-2 on George. Comes home, it's in the dirt, full count. Back to back 3-ball counts, and there've been plenty of them here for Schreiber. But this is what you take back to school. You learn from this.
That's what you do. I'm curious to see if Hudson Volk takes off here with the count full. Does not go.
Doesn't go. It's a breaking ball and a good fight from George. He waited back on that. Just got a piece to stay alive.
I'd actually like to see Volk take off from first base. I think it's always a really good thing to be aggressive, especially when you had the lead. You're up 3 runs. The worst thing that happens is you get 2 outs and you're still up 3 runs.
3-2 count on George. The payoff. Swing and a miss. Good fastball. Painted. And George is down on strikes. And that will be it for Sebastian Schreiber. He leaves this game with Volk over at first. Struck out 6. And that's it for Schreiber. When we come back, we'll introduce you to the new pitcher. Devin Bonine takes over for the Green Dragons here with 1 out and a runner on in the top of the 4th. He'll face off against Little, who's 0 for 2 today from the leadoff spot.
Bonine has pitched in 2 different games so far, most recent being a couple days ago against the North Stars. He's gone a couple innings, allowed a couple earned runs, 4 hits, a couple strikeouts, 2 walks.
First pitch on Little, called strike 1. So 1 down, George struck out swinging, Schreiber left. He's responsible for Volk over at first. That was a leadoff walk.
That was a really great thing to see. Schreiber getting that last batter.
Volk heads for second on the pitch in the dirt. Safe. Montoya came across, almost placed the tag, but Volk slides under it, and he's aboard at second.
You know, we have both Michelle and Montoya over there going to cover second base. That's one of those things where you need to be communicating at least when that batter first comes up or between pitches to know who exactly is covering.
1-1 on Little. He flew out to right in the second and hit a ball to first to lead off the game. That's strike 2. It's 1-2.
We've seen a couple times, even in power games, where the opposition, a guy is going to steal, both middle infielders go to cover. You leave the entire infield open then.
1-2 on Little from Devin Bonine. Breaking ball. Little spits on it. 2-2.
A big change of speed with that slow breaking ball coming up there.
2-2, 1 out. Top of the 4th. Jacks lead 5-2. Volk on second after the walk and stolen base. Here's the 2-2. Fouled to the right side and out of play.
Looks like Sebastian Mejorado for the Green Dragons warming up in the bullpen as we speak.
Hald is coming out to talk to his pitcher. We have a delay in action here.
So now a conversation between a manager and his base runner. Wonder what that could be about.
Nod in approval from Volk at second base. Little steps back into a 2-2 count.
Dusting off the base. Wonder if he spun his wheels there for a moment, just going back into second base.
O'Neill takes a deep breath, looks in. Green Dragons have done their best to stay in this ball game. Still trailing by 3. It's a breaking ball down and away. Count runs full.
Tried a couple breaking balls in a row down and away. Joey Little looked like he saw those pretty clearly out of the hands of Bonine.
Amavisca on deck. It's a full count to Little. Richie has walked twice today and scored twice. And with first base open, 3-2 from Bonine. Hit hard into left field. Way back there, but hooking. Foul. Hard hit ball from Little. He jumped on that.
Yeah, he was looked like he was looking for that fastball. Just got maybe a little too far inside, maybe a little bit in on the hands, just not quite able to keep that ball fair. That had a home run distance in a whole lot of ballparks.
We had Evan crouching up in his seat, and I thought for a second it had a chance. But just short and in foul territory down there.
I did get pretty excited.
3-2. Hit hard to right field. That's a base hit. Volk goes to third, gets the stop sign. He'll hold up there. Now runners at the corners with one out for Amaviska.
Well, officially 311 feet on that last foul ball. And how about that absolute rocket off the bat from Joey Little? He got another fastball. He jumped all over it, stayed with it, going the other way with that pitch. Easily the hardest hit ball we've seen so far today.
Richie is dialed in at the plate, hitting the ball hard, drawing walks, and now he comes up in a run-scoring spot with runners at the corners. And one out, his Jacks still lead by 3.
Officially 88 miles an hour on that previous base hit from Joey Little. He did smoke that ball.
First pitch on Richie. Down, ball 1. Now you're getting into this heart of the order for the Jacks.
Amaviska came on an excellent night at the plate for the Power.
Keeping it going this morning. Big swing, fouls it back. 1-1.
Amaviska does run well. You got to put a ball in play. It should get that 6-run home.
That's just the dream, Evan. You play for the Power. You have a great night. You go to bed. You wake up. And what do right away? Go play baseball again.
That's right. For
1-1.
Amaviska, maybe prefer getting the 11:30 slot next time, but he'll take it.
Big pop-up. Letizia's back on it in foul territory, makes the catch. Big second out for Bonine. And Amaviska is down on the pop-out.
Can't ask for anything more than that if you're the Green Dragons. Runners on first and third, one out, and you get a pop-up to the first base side in foul territory.
Harrison Pontoli struck out swinging twice today against Schreiber. And now gets a chance against the right-hander and Bonine. Runner still at the corners, 2 down, top of the 4th. Assume this is perhaps the last inning here. Check on the runner, Little at first. He's back in safely.
Looks like we have just over 10 minutes remaining until we hit that 2-hour time limit. So next inning could very well be the final swings we see from the Green Dragons.
Pontoli from the left-handed batter's box takes ball 1 outside. Pontoli, recent addition to the Power roster. Reached in all 6 of his plate appearances in his first Power game. 1 was on air. Pitch is outside, 2-0.
I find it interesting that reaching on error does not help your on-base percentage, Nash. It's gotta be frustrating as a hitter when that happens.
Yeah, you leave it up to the scorer, right? 2-0 is outside, 3-0. And that's why people sometimes are frustrated with the fielding percentage stat because, I mean, you see how many arbitrary calls we have up here when we're in between a hit and an error, and it's kind of up to whoever's scoring.
Sometimes there can be a little bit of debate going on, too.
And it impacts, fielding numbers. Pontoli takes a strike inside. It impacts, of course, a hitter's numbers.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, fielding percentage doesn't take into account how much range a certain player might have or not have. You get a guy who's just much faster and covers a lot of ground, he can get to more balls and sometimes make more errors.
Hard hit single up the middle for Pontoli will score another run for the Jacks. Volk comes in to score, heading to third is Little, and that ball gets away. Strong backup from Bonine, but an RBI single for Harrison Pontoli. That's got to feel good after the strikeouts, and the Jacks take a 6-2 lead.
Absolutely. Another rocket, this time off the bat of the red-hot Pontoli. And he quite possibly might have put this game out of reach, now extending it to a 4-run lead.
6-2 now, 2 outs. Pontoli replaces Little. Little replaces Volk, who scored. Runner still at the corners for Mason Schwalbach, who's been on twice today, single and a walk. It's a breaking ball, hits that through the right side. Another hit. The Jacks score again. Little comes in to score. Pontoli moves up to third, and Schwalbach is on for the third time.
And excellent base running, too. We just saw Harrison Pontoli go first to third. Joey Little did the same thing.
7-2. Jacks now lead it. Runners still at the corners. They're just replacing each other. And here's Mejia. Who doubled, reached on an error. Takes ball 1. 2 down.
You know, that previous single off the bat of Pontoli, 89 miles per hour off the bat.
So the Jacks hitting the ball hard here in the 4th. Pulling away. Now 6 hits on the board, 7 runs, and a 5-run lead. One is called a strike on Mejia. And here's Bonin. That's foul back. Breaking ball, 1-2.
Pretty decent crowd here, Nash, for the first morning PSCL game.
Quite a few umbrellas.
Oh, yes, of course.
I think this is maybe the biggest crowd I've seen for PSCL.
That's up there for me.
1-2 on Mejia. That's inside, 2-2.
Good play by Derek Hall, keeping that ball in front of him. That pitch nearly got away.
Two on the left fielder. Jacks ahead 7-2. 2 down, runners at the corners. That's low. 3-2. Good take.
On Nash, the LumberJacks are well on their way to moving to 4-1 in the season, keeping pace with those first place A's led by manager Don Bray.
Yeah, and 4 wins in a row perhaps. They'll still need to get 3 outs in the bottom of the 4th, but it's looking good. That's outside. Mejia takes a walk, and that'll fill the bases. Hillman Truss singled in the first, drove in Mejia. Walked in the third, moved up to second on a wild pitch, was stranded, and now comes up with the bases loaded here in the 4th. 2 down. Mejia at first, Schwalbach at second, Pontoli at third. Devin Bonin comes home, breaking ball, down and away, ball 1. And maybe shying away here a little bit, Evan, after some hard hit balls from Little, Pontoli, and Schwalbach in the inning.
Perhaps, but any pitcher, you need to have confidence in trying to pitch within the strike zone to work ahead.
That's away. It's 2-0.
It's great. So far, 7 walks combined walks and hit batters between Green Dragons pitching. Only going through 3 1/3 total innings. Not a formula to try and win games.
2-0 on Truss. Pop foul to the right side. Letizia gives it a look. It's out of play. Good effort.
Oh, yeah, he almost ran headlong into that fence. I mean, that ball was probably about 20 feet or so out of play.
2-1 on Hillman Truss. 2 down. Bases loaded. Top of the 4th. And we are pretty much certain now that this will be the final inning. The 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Bicknell on deck for the Jacks. The 3-1. In there, strike 2, count runs full. And have we seen a lot of full counts today, Evan?
Oh, a lot of deep counts. It drives up any pitcher's pitch count. It sometimes they can put the infielders back on their heels. It's just a really tough way to try and pitch and play the field.
3-2 from Bonine outside. A run will come home. An RBI walk for Hillman Truss. Second run he's driven in today. And it's an 8-2 lead for the Jacks. Here's Drake Bignell. Was hit by a pitch in the first, struck out looking in the third. And there's going to be a mound visit for Bonine. See if he takes the ball from him. Doesn't look like he will.
Yeah, there's nobody up in the bullpen. It's just one of those things, just trying to get through the rest of this game, keep the pitching staff intact, play a lot of games in a very short period of time, almost every day for about a month straight. And just one of those things, get that final out any way you can, and keep the pitching rotation on schedule.
The bases are still juiced. With 2 outs in the top of the fourth, the Jacks scored 3 in the first, none in the second, 2 in the third, and now 3 in the fourth. Drake Bignell, who threw out a runner last inning behind the dish, caught Michelle at second base, is coming up here in a run-scoring spot.
Drake Bignell will be the 8th man to come to the plate this inning for the LumberJacks.
See if Bonine can get ahead here. First pitch on Bignell, breaking ball, just misses, 1-0.
So far, 3 runs have crossed the plate this inning for the Jacks.
3 runs on 3 hits, and they weren't cheapies. Hard hit balls. Here's the 1-0. Down 2-0.
Yeah, we saw some rockets this inning, Nash.
First it was Little, then Pontoli, and then Schwalbach. Hard hit singles. That's down and away, 3-0. And all of a sudden, Bonine is having trouble finding the zone.
I assume we'll see a take all the way from Drake Bignell. Oh.
No, he gets the green light and ropes it into left field. 2 runs will score. Schwalbach is in, Mejia's behind him, and it's a double-digit day for the Jacks offense. They reached 10 on a 2-run single from Drake Bignell. 3-0 green light.
Yeah, caught me by surprise. Part of me thought, just having some trouble with command, maybe let him get a strike, get back in the count, and get the same pitch next time. But I give him credit. I like the aggression. You're up there to swing, and he got another nice knock right there.
4 hits, 5 runs so far for the Jacks in the fourth. Still 2 outs, 2 runners on. We'll have a pitching change when we come back.
Sebastian Mejorado.
Sebastian Mejorado is in the game for the Green Dragons, checking in and relieving for Devin Bonine. It was a difficult go. Gave up 4 hits, all hard hit. And the Jacks have their best inning yet. With 5 runs, they lead 10-2. Mejorado comes home. Ball 1. 2 down, first and second. Top of the 4th. And this is the best offense in the PSCL so far, the Jacks.
This will be the first pitching appearance of this season from Sebastian Mejorado.
That one's chopped back. Going to be a difficult play for Montoya. Fires over to first, not in time. Infield single for Miles, and that loads the bases. It's back to Volk, who walked to lead off this inning.
Yeah, 10th man in the bat here in the 4th.
Bases are loaded. Once more with 2 outs. Mejorado comes home. First pitch, fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. Volk struck out swinging. Mentioned he walked. He stole second in the 4th. A.J. Orozco now at third. That's a base hit up the middle. At least one will score. Stop sign at third for Bicknell. And it's another RBI single for the Jacks here in the 4th. This time Volk drives one in. It's 11-2.
Yeah, another good piece of hitting there, this time from Hudson Volk, his first hit of the day. Going right back up the middle and going station to station are the LumberJacks. This game is pretty much out of reach.
George is 0 for 2. He'll come up with the bases loaded, take strike 1. And what an inning for the Jacks offense. 6 hits.
They really came alive.
0-1 is upstairs, 1-1.
And it wasn't even that they were getting walked like crazy either. They just hit some rockets this inning.
6 hits, 3 walks, and the 11th man to bat is George. And he jams him up the middle. Montoya taps second, force out there, and finally the top of the 4th is over. 6 runs on 6 hits for the Jacks. They lead at 11-2. Green Dragons will need a large rally when we come back. Jay Evans is on the mound for the Jacks, stapled to an 11-2 lead. And leading off, subbing in for the Dragons is A.J. Orozco.
Orozco out of Merced College. Young freshman hitting 600 so far in the young season. He's 3 for 5 overall in a few games played.
Checks in for Aguirre, who had 1 plate appearance. He walked. And Evans' first pitch is in there for a strike. It's 11-2. The Jacks took control of this game That one's chopped out to third, coming in on it hard. Pontoli makes the play. It's a pretty one.
That really was nice. Definitely the play of the game so far. Charged that one at a couple of hops, got it all in one motion, made that play look really easy, and it's by no means an easy play.
Harrison Pontoli flashing the leather at third for out number one, and that'll bring up Schiffner. Braden Schiffner checking in for Pruitt, who struck out looking.
The pitcher, Jay Evans, you see him now throw 2 2/3 innings. Hasn't allowed a run yet. Just 1 hit so far. 4 strikeouts.
First pitch is high. So subs galore in the fourth. Orozco led it off, then Schiffner. It's Killian on deck. The catcher, Cole Killian. That's pop foul out of play. Excuse me, that's AJ Killian as well. So multiple AJs this inning.
There we are. Sniffer 1 for 5 so far in the season. Now getting a 6th at bat.
The 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. One down. Here in the bottom of the fourth, and this will do it for this ball game. That's hit hard into center field. Going back on it is Little, and he makes the catch. So hung up there. Well hit ball for out number 2.
Yeah, good looking swing there from Schiffner.
And that'll bring up AJ Killian. 2 down, bottom of the fourth. Jacks lead it 11-2, and the Green Dragons are down to their final out. Killian checking in for Bonine, who pitched that last inning, and Bonine at the plate walked in the first. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Connor Hilbert on deck. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1.
Looks like the LumberJacks will be back in action tomorrow against the Grizzly, 11:30, right back here at Palm Springs Stadium.
The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2, and one more strike will secure the 4th straight victory for the Jacks.
And tomorrow the Green Dragons will take on the Bombers for the 9 o'clock game, also right back here at Palm Springs Stadium.
The 1-2, hit hard, foul off the post.
Oof. That made quite a noise.
Above the Dragons dugout. Killian's 1 for 7 on the season. That one hit was a double. Struck out twice, he's walked once. He's caught for this Green Dragons club. And the Dragons in danger of losing their first game. Called strike 3, and that'll do it. Killian's down looking. It's a 1-2-3, 4th inning for Jay Evans. And the Jacks have won 4 in a row, improved to 4-1 on the season. The Green Dragons fall to 1-1-2. Final here, Jacks 11, Dragons 2. Nash Walker, Evan Schmeiser will be back for the second game of the day between the North Stars and the Blue Sox. Any takeaways here, Evan?
Well, look, especially in that 4th inning, we really saw the LumberJacks lineup come alive. Obviously, saw a lot of walks on both sides earlier in the game, but we really saw some rockets. LumberJacks showed their muscle, and they showed us exactly why they're keeping pace with those first-place A's.
LumberJacks' best offense in the league by really any category you look at, and you can see why today. They win 11-2 over the Green Dragons. We'll sign off, and we'll join you in about 15 minutes.